Alright, hey YouTube, Ravs15 here bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. Here to let you know that Declan akaba is now unlockable, and I would do what I normally do for these videos, but I already recorded this video once, and the game was overpowering my audio, so I have to re-record it. But anyway, let's go back into the game, and I will re-go over Declan akaba's skills and level up rewards, and also tell you how to actually unlock the character. Alright, let's get into it. Now, for those of you who don't know, all you have to do to unlock Declan akaba is playing the current event, the Power Beyond Dimensions, and basically you have to complete Stage 2 and Duel yugioh. Now what I mean by that is, yeah, you have to get 100,000 points to complete Stage 2, and once you do that, you will basically get a duel against yugioh. He will spawn, it would say event over his name, and after you beat him, you get Declan. Basically it would look like this, but yugioh's picture would be in there. And to basically challenge, well, get the points for the event, you can, well, duel Declan, who's right here right now, or you can duel him at the gate. These both ways will get you points, and you have to use action cards to basically get the points needed to challenge him. And you get these action cards by simply dueling the NPCs, and every day when the game resets, you can do PvP duels to actually just get 20 cards for free. But anyway, let's go to Declan and look at his level up rewards and unlocks. But anyway, Declan's default skill is called King of the Underworld. Begin the duel with one triple Doom King Armageddon in your deck. In addition, if you have two double D Pendulum Monsters cards in your Pendulum Zone, the following effect can be used. Once per duel, add one triple Doom King Armageddon to your hand from your deck / extra deck. Then return one card in your hand to your deck. If you begin the duel with a deck / extra deck containing a total of 12 or more triple D monsters or dark contract spells / trap cards, add Pendulum Zone to your field at the beginning of the duel. So yeah, that's alright, but like I said in my first recording, I don't really care for Doom King Armageddon. All he does is win more, but if I don't have to play him in my deck by just adding him myself, he's okay. And next up, the next card you get is Double D Savant Nicola. His Pendulum effect is you cannot Pendulum summon monsters except Double D monsters. This effect cannot be negated. Once per turn, you can discard one triple D monster, then target one level 6 or lower DD monster you control. It gains 2,000 in attack and defense until the end of this turn. So yeah, he's alright, but the only idea I had for him was basically using this effect, discard Typhon, and then if you're able to use Typhon to fusion summon from the grave. But its monster effect is if this card is in your Pendulum Zone, it is destroyed. You can target one triple D monster you control, return it to the hand, and if you do, place up to 2 face-up DD Pendulum monsters from your deck except in your Pendulum Zone. But they cannot activate their Pendulum effects this turn. You can only use this effect of Double D Savant Nicola once per turn. It's alright, basically he helps you set your scales. But let's see, you get gems, and like I said, I don't know if this is a new card, Puppet Master. Well, new card in Duel Links. But his effect is when this card is tribute summoned, you can pay 2,000 life points to target 2 fiend type monsters in your graveyard. Spell summon those targets, they cannot be attacked this turn. So yeah, the effect's good, but I wish this was Necro Slime, to be honest with you. But let's see, the next level up reward you get from him is Triple D Stone King Darius. He takes 2 level 3 fiend type monsters. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach one XC material from this card, then target one dark contract card you control, destroy it, and if you do, draw one card. If this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can detach one XC material from this card, make this card unable to be destroyed by the battle, destroy the opponent monster that battle it's after damage calculation, and if you do, inflict 250 points of damage to your opponent. So yeah, like I said in my first recording, we don't really have like with DDDs in their current state at least do not go into level 3 monsters except for Night Howl really. But I'm pretty sure someone will find a build for it. Like I honestly already want to make a DDD deck that focuses on the XCs, but still can go into Alexander and Genghis at least. Which means we will be losing out some cards because we currently have access to 3 XCs. But I still have to look at them all and see what they actually do. But the next card we get is Triple D Human Resources. So for 3 cards into the deck and any combination of DD monsters in your hand, field, or graveyard, and or DD cards in your Pendulum Zone. Then you can add 2 DD monsters from your deck to your hand. So it's a searcher for your DD monsters, which is good if you're looking for your scales. See some gems. Level 13, he gets balance. It's generic, so I'm not going over it. Then we get reprint. Level 20, we get skill called DD King. All triple D monsters you control gain 500 attack until the end of this turn. The skill can only be used once per turn and twice per duel. If you begin the duel with a deck/extra deck containing a total of 12 or more triple D monsters or dark contract, spell and trap cards, add Pendulum Zones to your field at the beginning of the duel. Okay. Reprint. Okay, from that point on, it's nuts but reprints and gems. So let's go down the list and look at the skills that he get from PvP matches and just dueling against the NPCs a few times. Now, this skill right here, Amnesia of the Savants, this basically turn off the effects. And what I mean by that is the scale won't get smaller and you won't lose your DDDs. So this skill is alright if you are gonna play them. Like the only one I actually suggest to play is Savant Galliel or whatever. Because if you are gonna, you can discard this card, then target one DD or dark contract card you control, return it to the hand, and basically what he does is get you out your contract if you're about to die by it. So yeah, that's the one reason I say he is one of them you would learn. But let's see what else we get. Oh, black and white contract. I was thinking this skill was pretty good. Can be used by sending one face-up dark contract card on your field to the graveyard, select one effect, and the following and apply it to one DD monster on the field. The skill can only be used twice per duel. If you begin the duel with a deck/extra deck containing no monster other than DD monsters, you can turn a monster into a tuner. Select monster will become level 4. Select monster will become a level 8. So yeah, you can make your monsters either level 8, level 4, or turn a monster into a tuner. This skill is really good. So depending on the DD build, you can basically go into synchro plays differently and also go into your rank 4 XCs to go into the marksman sniper one. Let's see what else we got. Command of the Doom King. What this skill does is at the beginning of the duel, add the Pendulum Zone to your field. The following effect can be used once per duel. Select one triple D monster Doom King arm or triple Doom King arm again from your hand and add it to your extra deck face up. Then select up to one double D Pendulum monster, respectively from your field deck, and place it in your Pendulum Zone. Put its effect is to negate it at the beginning of your duel or your next turn. Return all cards to your Pendulum Zone to your deck. This skill can only be activated if you begin the duel with a deck that has 6 or more triple D Pendulum monsters, including 1 or more triple D Doom King Armageddons. So yeah, it's alright. At least you won't have to run a lot of DDDs to actually get this. Basically, this will be good for my Evil Hero DDD deck, but that's besides the point. Let's keep going. Contract with Procrastination. Basically, this is another skill that will help you not burn to death by your contracts. But what this skill actually does is, at the beginning of the duel, if you have 1 or more contracts activated, you can skip your standby phase. So you can just skip the part where you take the damage and make your opponent look like an idiot for trying to burn you to death. See. Then we have DD King. Oh, level 20. I ain't going over that. Then we have Emergency Contract Laundering. This is another one of those skills that basically help you not take the burn damage from the contracts. But you can send one contract laundering or dark contract card to the graveyard, and this will all face-up dark contract cards on the field. Then increase your life points by the number of destroyed cards times 1,000. So at best you can get 3,000 life off of this card, or you can get 2,000, maybe even 1,000, depending on how many contracts you have on the field. Let's see. We have End of the World. In short, I'm not going to read this whole thing. You have to have 12 or more triple D monsters in your deck, including in the extra deck. And besides that, if you Pendulum Summon 3 Doom King Armageddons, you get to wipe all monsters off your opponent's field. But yeah, I don't like the skill because, like I said, it's the skill basically forcing you to play 3 copies of Doom King Armageddon, and the monster is just a win more card. And what I personally think, DDDs don't need win more cards, so I'm sleeping on this. But I do like the destruction effect, don't get me wrong. This is just personally not a skill for me. See. Then we have Master Fusion. This skill lets you add poly from outside your deck, but I'm not even gonna click on it because we already know what the skill does. Return from another dimension. If you have 20 or more banished DD monsters, place one face down. Return from the different dimension from outside your deck. During the turn you use the skill, cannot activate spell and trap cards. The skill can only be used once per rule. Now, if they want the skill to actually be used, they should lower it because DDs don't banish all that much. The only monster that really get banished is Night Howl and not Night Howl, but Swirl Slime and Vice Typhoon. Those are the only 2 DDD monsters that really get banished. Of course, with what you're using to banish with Typhon gets banished, so the most you would have is 3. Unless you use cards to actually pull this off. Okay, well, now that I'm looking, you can use cards other than DDs to pull this card's effect off, but I don't think it's worth it. Then we get Reserve of the Underworld and DDs, and Reserve of the Underworld and DD can be used once per duel if the number of DD monsters in your graveyard is the same as your banished DD monsters. Banish all DD monsters in your graveyard when you use the skill, and return all your banished DD monsters to the graveyard. So basically, it lets you switch your banished pile in your graveyard around, and that will let you reuse the Swirl Slime. And if you had Necro Slime, it will allow you to refusing. And I'm not for sure if this will count for Vice Typhons of fusing someone in the grave, because technically it's for Sylvia this turn, but tomato tomato. And then we have Swing Into Action. It's generic, I'm not gonna go over it. All it literally does is add the pendulum zones to your field if you're running a deck that have 12 or more pendulum monsters. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Sorry there's no cringy voice acting, but like I said, my original recording of this got messed up. But anyway, I'm out. Peace.